think we start today's episode talking about the curse. The GWIA curse.
Yeah.
Because we just recorded a whole intro, and both of us forgot to turn on the audio. Both of us.
You would think by the time we get to the third season, we would have this figured out. I was awake for most of the night.
Oh.
It was really weird.
It's tragic, I know. Hold back your tears, I know. It's so tragic.
I guess in a way you could look at it as work for accommodation, but it's not because I also paid for it.
Crying publicly in Five Guys is not a fun experience.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Team.
So back to the episode.
And now I'm gonna be so frantic checking everything to make sure we're recording.
Yeah.
But
but I will say I was really scared for some reason.
You were.
During our first recording, and the fear is gone.
Yeah, the goosebumps
Maybe
have gone away.
I had to get the jitters out. Yeah. I think our body was trying to tell us like something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was the fact that we were recording for 10 minutes with no audio.
Love. And that's the GWIA curse for you.
And that's the GWIA curse. It's technology fails. And it's life fails.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we're also going to kind of rush through this intro because we don't want to jinx what's happening in our life. Because every time we say it on the podcast, we then the next episode have to be like, well, you remember that thing? Like, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy.
About that.
Should I still try to do the
Yeah.
intro?
So do the intro. Let's try it
Okay.
again. Maybe after the first round. You got it.
I mean, I practiced twice already, basically. So here we are. Third time's a charm. I still get stage fright. I don't know. I feel like it's because you're here and you do it so well that, like, now that you're watching me, I'm like, she knows.
Okay, I won't watch.
She knows I'm a poser. Yeah, don't look.
And
okay.
I won't listen.
Hi. Hi. Welcome to the Guess Where I Am podcast.
And who I'm with.
I'm Louise.
And I'm Koke.
And we're with each other.
Back for another episode. This time, season 3.
Season 3. And I'll say it again. Cue the confetti. Pop the champagne.
Mm-hmm. Pop. All the things.
Season 3.
We're back.
It just feels so forced. It feels so forced. We already did this.
No, but you smashed it.
I already went through this.
You smashed it.
Yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm. You got it. We're here. And
we are here. And everything's recording and everything's okay. And we're in a safe space because season 3 is just going to be so much fun.
It is.
Season 3 is full of fun. And we learned so much from season 2 because of our season 1 flops. Yes. But we're not going to talk about it.
You're not knowing anything until it comes out.
Because of the GWIA curse.
The curse is real. And I think that's
real.
the biggest thing we've learned from season 1 and season 2 is this curse. And now we're just not going to tell you anything until it happens. Sorry. Not sorry. It's honestly, it's safe for us that way. But I like to say that, like, we're very brave for keeping up with this despite the curse. Every time I turn on my camera, I risk it breaking. Because odds are, it will. It happened with my last camera. Every time you upload a file, odds are it could be corrupted. Or it's going to take 24 hours to upload.
Oh my God. No, girl. 48.
And then it will change. And then it'll be like 3 hours, 20 hours, 18 hours, 40 hours. And it just jumps.
Oh. It likes to tease you.
It loves to mess with us. But like we said, that's the curse. And that's what we've learned. We've learned and we're still here.
We love our listeners, you 10, so much.
Big kisses.
That we stick with it.
So
I think we get into that.
Let's get into it. Like we said, we're not going to tell you much about season 3. We're just here.
No, we're going to leave it as a surprise. And we spent a really long time trying to figure out what to talk about other than just our casual catch-ups, but we realized there is nothing.
There's nothing.
Nothing we care to share right now. Because life is in limbo. We're at a standpoint between big things and little things. Let's
get into it. Let's
get into it.
Roll the music if we haven't already.
Put us out of our misery and get into it. Oh, I'm on my bed and I want to lay down. Comfy during this music break. That's really real for us.
I'm taking a sip of my coffee. Anyways, this episode, even though we barely had much to talk about in the intro, what are you pointing at?
I was just saying, you say it, girl.
You're just going.
Go for it, girl. Oh my god. What is going on? I've got the heebie-jeebies or something. Do you not feel the same?
No, I'll be honest, my goosebumps did go away. And
for me, it's internal. It's deep in the bones. It's pumping through my veins. And it's fear. I think everything is just getting to me right now.
Yeah. No, I feel
Maybe
that.
I'm sensitive today.
I mean, last night was a full moon.
Ooh. And
So,
I had a really weird dream last night.
New chapter.
I had a really weird dream.
New.
Yeah.
Full moon. Kind of adds
Yeah.
up. I was awake for most of the night.
Oh.
It was really weird.
The GWIA curse under the full moon is at its strongest.
I used to give up my shifts on full moons because I would hate working full moon shifts at a restaurant because people were actually on something nights of full moons, and I just couldn't deal with it. You know what? Rather not.
I believe it. Okay.
Team.
So back to the episode. What is happening? We've never had heebie-jeebies like this. Did we catch cooties? We caught the cooties?
Well,
I
actually,
don't even know.
Actually, we have. And you know what? When we have episode 1, season 1, episode 1, season 2. It is episode 1, season 3.
Yeah, so here it is.
I'll give it to us. I'll let us have these heebie-jeebies because now my goosebumps came back.
One freaky episode a season.
Yeah. Maybe we just never have a season 4. We just have a really long season 3.
Season 3. Yeah. Yeah, and then we go into 0.5s, you know? Points.
So we never have to encounter this again. So maybe that's to come. Who knows? We don't know.
I'm still not over the fact that we both weren't recording audio.
Yeah, that was really good. That was...
That made me cry. I started crying. And I don't know where those tears came from. I don't know if it was funny tears or the fear. Whatever's internal right now that's growing is pretty nasty.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe it's because of planning. Maybe I'm remembering my breakdown.
Yeah, and what this episode is about. Because planning things does get me kind of stressed out.
It can get scary, yeah.
Which I guess is a good segue, once again, into what this episode is about.
Right.
Switch on the brain.
You go, girl.
Switch on the brain. Go, girl. This episode is all about planning. Planning trips, planning what you pack, planning how to book things. Literally anything. What else? Yeah. All the things. All the planning.
Expectations. Planning your expectations. Yeah. Yeah.
Preach. Planning your expectations.
Which might be the most important thing of all, is keeping your expectations moderate.
Yes.
Don't ever have high expectations.
Yeah, you could be excited for something while still being pretty level with your expectations.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest things we've learned while traveling.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Should I go first about my story?
1000%. I was going to say this is a great leadway into your story.
France.
And
all right,
France.
Picture this. You're in the south of France. It's July 18th, 2025. And flash back even further to May 2025, and you're sitting down on the couch with your friend and you're super excited and you're picturing all the things that you're going to do. You go to a coffee shop the next day, you sit down with your third friend, and you book just an epic 5 days in the south of France, right? We're going on a catamaran sunset tour with drinks. We're going on a car tour to all these really small towns and like seeing these the gorges de Verdun, I believe that's what they're called, canyon in France, which is so beautiful. It's like these massive mountains that lead to this like really blue river, lake. I think it's a river. I don't know. It's gorgeous, right? There's lavender fields involved. You're booking all this in May and you're like, wow, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna see all of these beautiful sights. Every day is booked to the T. I'm going snorkeling off of Villefranche, which is a really beautiful town. We're going to Aise, and we're gonna see this medieval town on a hillside, and it's gonna be awesome. And then you land in France, Nice, July 18th, 2025, and you get hit with just the nastiest cold. Ugh. It's tragic, I know. Hold back your tears, I know. It's so tragic. But that's basically what happened to me is I got really excited. My expectations were so high when I was booking everything and planning everything to a T. Because if you go day of, my first night in France was completely spontaneous and it was fun in that way. But having things booked is like, makes something to look forward to. I was really, 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 really excited because I was the one who like found all of these things and booked them for us. And then I get there and I'm so sick with like a flu almost. It wasn't flu territory, but I had brought like flu medicine with me because that's something that you should bring is like NyQuil and Dayquil because they don't really have that type of medicine in Europe and it might just be difficult to find when you don't speak the language. So I brought that in case I got sick. I was really hoping I didn't have to use it. And then what I didn't realize is that I brought maximum strength medicine and I'm pretty small. I don't weigh a lot. And so being super sick, and then I took this maximum strength flu medicine, and it was too strong of a dose that it sent me into oblivion. I was suddenly in this van going to the gorges de Verdun, and I was sitting in the back, the third row of the van, because there was one family with us. And they got monopoly over the middle row because they got picked up first. Cruel to put the sick girl in the back. But I also, I had to go. I booked this excursion and I was so excited for it. It didn't matter that I was sick and I felt dissociated and I felt like I was going to vomit in the back row. And so that was pretty disappointing and I got really angry because of it. And so we got to this small town, this really picturesque small town. And I actually turned to Amelia and Maddie and I was like, I need you guys to leave me alone. I was like, boundary needs to be set right now. I'm so sick and so pissed off. I went through the stages of grief where I was in denial in the car. I was like, I'm fine. And then I stepped out of the car and I was like, I'm not fine. I'm really angry about it. And so I was like, you guys need to get out of my face because if you say one thing that remotely irritates me, I will snap. And so then I went to this small town and I sat on a bench and I just people watched. And it was a really cute town, but I was really angry and I was like, don't call mom and dad, you're just sick, but maybe this is just a one-day thing and tomorrow I'll be fine. Flash forward to tomorrow, my next excursion, I was snorkeling and sick. And I was like, okay, well, this also sucks because I can barely breathe. With the very little air, that was really difficult. I got really pissed. And then I get on the sunset catamaran tour and I'm really excited for that as well. I need a reset. Hold on. I'm super sick. After planning France to a T, I get to the catamaran, which I think my expectations were the highest for, because you're in the south of France. It's gorgeous. You're with a ton of like hot people on a boat, a catamaran, a mega catamaran. There's drinks and there's food and it's the sunset. Like, this is gonna be epic. And I'm so sick that I get seasick, kind of. Not that like I'm like vomiting. And I misread part of the email, and if you brought your bathing suit, you could have gone swimming as well. And there was music playing, and all I could do was like sit and stare at the horizon. Like, I couldn't communicate with anyone because I was so sick that after that, we got off the boat at like 10 p.m. and all the food places were closed. So the only thing open was a Five Guys, which I liked to call Cinq Monsieur because we were in France. I had a breakdown in Cinq Monsieurs because my expectations were so high and I got sick, which is uncontrollable, and I couldn't experience anything to the full extent that I wanted to. And I had planned this so far in advance that I had let these expectations get so high. I didn't like catch myself. So I fell really hard, and that crash out happened to happen in a Five Guys. And I feel so bad for the employees because I was just like literally, I wasn't sobbing, but the tears were flowing. And I was just like, I'm okay. And I told Maddie immediately, I was like, ignore me, please, I'm fine. As I'm just like wiping tears away, like walking with my head down like in Charlie Brown. Oh my God. If there's one thing to take away, it's make sure you regulate your expectations. Yeah. Because you can plan everything to a T and it could be so much fun. And then one thing happens and it can destroy that experience. There were times when I wanted to stay in bed, but I was like, I can't do that. I have to force myself up. And yeah, that was France.
That was France for sure. For you, I wasn't there. But that story, when you first told me that, I was like, yeah, honestly, any sane person would also have the same exact crash out. It was so valid.
I felt half embarrassed just because crying publicly in Five Guys is not a fun experience.
No. Yeah.
Being sick on top of that also sucked.
Yeah.
But you know what? One good thing to come out of this, my planning skills were top notch. I mean, every single day was full and it was like bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. But yeah, that kind of sucked, being super sick while traveling, and there's nothing you can really do about it but just power through. But to bring it back to planning, I did use Get Your Guide. I don't know if you've ever done that. Get Your Guide, or having a travel agent boyfriend, what his opinion is on that. But I used a lot of Get Your Guide to help me find excursions. And then sometimes I just booked through Get Your Guide because then it's all on the app and you have like almost a virtual itinerary. But it's a good way to find excursions, and then you could go to like the websites of the people who like sponsor the excursion, and it might be cheaper booking directly with them than through Get Your Guide. But it was at least a good way to find things to do. Yeah.
I love how quickly you moved on from the
breakdown in Cinq Monsieurs
to then how you were planning.
Sorry, this is a planning episode, so I don't want to stay, like, I did have a breakdown, and it was hard, but I don't want my breakdown to diminish how awesome my planning skills were. I
for sure
killed it. It just did not go out the way that I expected.
But I do think that's something, I'm glad we're talking about it, because I don't think it's talked about a lot, is managing your expectations when you're traveling, especially abroad, and you're planning for something months in advance, maybe even years in advance, and then you get there and it's just not as good as you thought it would go. Even though it's still really good, it's not 11 out of 10, it's 9 out of 10.
Or maybe the weather's bad, you can't predict the weather.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, but I need to do this on a sunny day and now it's raining. Like managing your expectations is quite possibly one of the most important things to do, because it's fun to let yourself think about a trip and get excited about it, but you still need to recognize that like things could go wrong, and that you should just remember, I guess, be where your feet are. And just, I still was like, I forced myself to get out of bed every day instead of letting that depression of being sick and not being able to experience things to the full extent that I wanted to, keep me from not being there and trying to be as present as I could in that mental state, you know, and like understanding boundaries. When I was feeling really angry, I didn't want that to suddenly get reflected onto the friends I was with. So I was like, I need a little bit of space right now so that like I can be here, manage my emotions, and then like be back as like a good person. Because if I had stayed with my friends, then I probably would have been like an asshole, like really irritable type person. So, you know, understanding managing your expectations is just so crucial.
Yeah. And I will say, you being able to step back during that time, realizing like, okay, this is a moment that I don't want to influence the rest of the trip, and being able to step back is a huge thing. And I don't think that's easy. And I think that probably, I mean, just came from traveling a lot and being able to recognize yourself while you're traveling and the type of person that you are. And you're like, wait, this isn't normal. Let me take a step back. So that also does come with years, I would say, of traveling.
Emotional agility. We talked about this in our mental health episode.
We did.
If you guys are like, we might as well plug that if you're interested in like understanding tips of managing your emotions and all the mental and physical health changes that you might deal with traveling. We have an episode.
We do.
Put it on the screen.
Season 2.
In season 2 about all of that type of stuff.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. We won't get too much more into that for this episode.
No.
Get right back into the planning aspect of it.
But you didn't say anything about Get Your Guide.
No, I was just about to say.
Using online platforms to book excursions or to help you find excursions.
Yeah, so I thought that was really funny that you called it, you said something like your travel itinerary boyfriend or a travel agent boyfriend.
Yes.
So funny enough, my boyfriend is or was a travel agent.
Well, that's what made me think about it, because I was like, you're gonna have the insider knowledge that I might not have about these online internet boyfriend travel agents versus in real life travel agent boyfriend.
Yeah. So at least comparing it to when we have planned stuff, which I guess I'll also get into in the rest of the episode about planning stuff, because our upcoming travels are together. But in the past, it was really nice when he was still working for the travel agency, because it was all right there. Like, he was able to make that itinerary, get all of those deals, see the dates, everything. One platform. So nice. But now, not having that platform to do it, but the knowledge, still really nice to have, and have his organizational skills. We have the prettiest spreadsheet to the date, to the time, all of our confirmation numbers, everything laid out for our upcoming trip to Africa. And it's been really fun planning with him. I definitely have heard of Get Your Guide before, but I don't think I've ever used it before.
Okay. This isn't a sponsor, Get Your Guide. I have used other type of booking things before as well. Definitely check out the whole range.
Yeah.
But what did you use then to book things?
I've never used a platform to singularly book things through. I'm the type of person where, like, I'll look at a million different options and then compare.
Yeah. So you kind of go direct.
Yeah.
There's no middleman for you.
No. The only time that I consistently used one platform was in Australia in Hostel World. Booking all the hostels.
Which I don't even trust Hostel World these days. No hate to Hostel World, because I really like using Hostel World. It has only done amazing things for me. But in the way that I noticed with Get Your Guide, I just wonder if these third parties charge extra.
Oh, definitely.
So it's just like, out of convenience, Hostel World is really great, and these online middleman platforms are really great, just like because you could have your travel itinerary in there. In Hostel World, you can see all of your rooms booked out by date, and it makes it really easy with the addresses and everything. But it's not necessarily budget friendly if you're trying to do it the most cheap way possible. You should probably go directly to the hostel website or something like that and try to book direct with them. And sometimes you don't have that option. Like sometimes
Yeah.
Hostel World is the only option. And it's no hate to Hostel World because I love it.
They have to get their money somehow, so it makes sense.
But I do realize when you're trying to budget, I was like, oh, a lot of like, $5, $6, $10, they add up over time by just paying like this middleman fee.
For sure. Yeah. To play devil's advocate, what's third-party platforms is a lot of them, if you sign up, not for Hostel World, I don't think they do it. Let's just say like booking.com, or like if you choose an airline. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but if you sign up for their program, their loyalty program, you get points, and then you could get those points back in other ways. So over time, it could pay you back.
That's true.
So if you're planning for something long, potentially worth it. But if you're budget traveling, I agree. Book directly through the sites.
There was something you said, though, that I really enjoyed. And you talked about how you have your beautiful spreadsheet and it's super organized. As a Virgo and organized freak, I really enjoy hearing that. But I think that's really important for planning, is having it organized to the T. And it doesn't have to necessarily look pretty, although that's always a plus when you're like, it looks good too. But when it comes to planning and planning correctly, if you aren't organized, in my opinion, it could be really easy to overlap bookings. It'd be really easy to not, like, if you don't put in the time to figure out how long it's going to take you to get from where you're staying to where you need to go, and you don't think about all those little details, you might find yourself rushing and missing things, only because it happened to me in Sydney, funny enough, where I didn't really plan too much around, when I was going and when I was arriving. And so there were times where I just booked a bus without thinking about it, and you arrive at like midnight. You can't check in until 3 p.m. And what are you going to do from midnight to 3 p.m.? That also happened to me in France, actually, when I landed in Nice. We didn't book our hostel room right away because we didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but it is. And it's like it's weird how we didn't plan for that extra night. Or back to when I was in Sydney, I thought I could take an Uber from the hostel to the bus station to my next stop. And as I was waiting on the Uber, I watched him drive right past me and cancel. And suddenly I didn't have enough time to get another Uber to the bus station. I was like a 15-minute walk. My bus was leaving in 12 minutes. So I had to basically run with all of my stuff. And I got there just as the bus was closing the door. And I had to like slam on the side of the bus for him to stop and open everything back up. And I get on the bus covered in sweat. And I go to the person next to me and I go, I'm so sorry. I'm really stinky right now. But it's like poor planning because I didn't do the effort. I didn't take the time to like actually schedule out like how long transportation is going to take, or like how much time do I want in between these excursions, and like making sure you don't double book yourself.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, at least because I'm super organized after making these mistakes, hearing that you have your next trip really organized. It's like, hell yeah, because it's just gonna help with like peace of mind. And the other side of that is like when you get there, you don't want to be scrambling around for the information that you need. Having it all in one place is also really great for peace of mind.
Yeah. In case we get to the border agent and they're like, how long will you be here? Like, what are you doing? Like, wanting all these specific facts too. You never know. The government could stop you at the airport. So for that reason alone, it's really helpful to have. I also severely underestimated a lot. Like, me planning and the spreadsheet is a new thing for me. Because when I was in Australia, same thing. Especially the first time around. First time around when I only planned for 2 weeks to be in Australia.
Oh, yeah. And
I was planning to go up the coast. The rate I did it at was crazy. It worked out, But I did end up extending the trip just because I was getting FOMO and wanted to be there for Christmas and New Year's. However, yeah, having the start and end times of transportation, if you know you need to get from point A to point B and what time you get there to check in for hotels. I remember having to spend all day in Canberra walking around because I not landed. My bus dropped me off at 6 a.m. and I wasn't able to check in until 4 p.m. And they just weren't letting me have an early check-in. So after taking an overnight bus from Melbourne, I was exhausted. I remember getting ready in the hotel lobby bathroom and just walking around this city, and there was not much to do. Like, it was
A lot
boring.
of people say that.
It was so boring. I only went so I could say I went to the Capitol. I just went to a lot of museums, walked around gardens for a few hours, but yeah, that was one of the situations where even though it was 6 a.m., I wish I booked the hotel also for the night prior. Because to be able to sleep, I love sleep. Like, I would have so appreciated to just
it's
refresh.
also thinking ahead and planning on if you want to like power through the day like that, or would you prefer to get sleep and have like a half day and then like a full day, or do you want a full day power through?
Yeah.
So in Europe, we did a lot of like full day power throughs. All of our transportations were early in the morning, so we'd get there early and we'd have a full day.
Yeah.
The issue with that is like after 20 something days, that gets really exhausting and you're like, I really just want a full night's sleep, but I can't even get into my room until 3 o'clock. And by then, if you take a nap at 3, like the second half of your day is ruined.
Yeah.
So it's really intense. I mean, I definitely liked powering through the day for what we did because we were moving from country to country so fast that like in Paris, we only had we had the day that we arrived at 8 a.m., one full day, and then we were leaving. So it's like, there's so much to do in Paris that like, yeah, we're going to power through that first like 8 a.m. arrival so that we can like make the most of our 2 days there. If I were just staying in Paris for a week, I would not have powered through the first day. I would have been like, let's get sleep so then tomorrow we're refreshed and ready to like seize the day. But when you're on such a short, tight schedule, sometimes it's helpful just to power through. Yeah. But that's all with planning. But enough about me and planning, because I think that the people can understand. Yeah. Now I want to talk about your ways of planning and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. What I will say from yours, one key takeaway is just really understanding yourself and the type of travel that you're capable of doing. Because, yeah, at some point in my life, I probably would have been able to power through a day. I mean, I did do it in Australia plenty of times, like in Canberra. But I just don't think I'm that type of person anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I would prefer not to. But in a tight schedule, I'd do it.
Yeah. It really depends on who you are and what your schedule is. I kind of almost think I'm done with this hopping on a train, hopping on a bus, hopping on a plane. I almost feel like I'm ready for a vacation where I just go to one place and I really get to know that place, like giving Melbourne vibes. When I lived there for 3 months, like just really getting to know Melbourne was really fun and relaxed because you weren't on such a tight schedule. So I think like I want to go back to Portugal and like just do Portugal for like 2 weeks or something like that, where I can go to more places instead of like constantly moving around. Yeah. I'm losing that part of myself too.
No, but you know what? That right there is the frontal lobe.
I think it is.
It's developed.
Yeah, I think the frontal lobe doesn't need an epic adventure anymore as much as like the little adventures of being in one place.
It wants to learn. It wants to experience even more.
I crave experience more than different views 24/7. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what you say about planning and traveling after your next trip, because I would say you're going into something very different. You know, you're not doing a backpacking moment, but you're also not doing a resort vacation moment. You're doing the third route, which is, and you're not doing work, but you are working.
But I am. But yeah, it's something we've never done.
Yeah.
I'm volunteering for 4 weeks in 2 different countries. I guess in a way you could look at it as work for accommodation, but it's not because I also paid for it. So it's really not that. So it's not like what I did in Cannes to get a free room. But, you know, I don't, like, okay, how do I even get into this? Because I don't want to curse it. Like,
No, I don't
what
want
we
to
were
curse
talking
it
about in the
either.
beginning.
Because of the game of curse.
It's so good.
Real.
It's so real. However, okay, you know what? I'll say it.
Okay.
I've planned so much for this, and by the time that we release this, it'll already have happened. So I do feel comfortable in talking about it. And I think it'll be very informational, very educational. Yeah, very educational for y'all to take away how I got this trip planned and organized and where it's at right now. So basically, I love animals so much, and it has always been a dream of mine to work with animals hands-on, and not just like cats and dogs and bunnies, you know. Yes, love a good pet. I'm talking elephants, lions, monkeys, tigers,
The circus.
giraffes.
You're going to the circus.
I'm going to the circus.
But where it's
I'm
like
going
ethically okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to Africa. I'll be in Namibia for 2 weeks, for the first 2 weeks, and then South Africa for the second 2 weeks. But then I actually do have a backpacking road trip 5th week. That's just for funsies.
Yeah.
At the end of it. But it's with the same company, both these volunteer programs. And the way that I really sparked the idea of doing this was TikTok. TikTok one day was just like, here's 1 million videos of people on an African safari. So then I was like, I want to do that, but I don't want to pay for a safari. I want to do it ethically, and I want to be more hands-on. So I started looking at volunteer programs, went through good 10 or 15 different companies, hopped on calls with them, read as much information as possible with them. Nothing was really sitting right with Joe and I, because I also did get Joe on board with doing this with me, until finally he found this one company. And it was one of those websites that was like, this is too good to be true, because it was significantly cheaper than every other company we found. However, their website severely outdated.
Ooh, and that's
like,
stressful.
Barely, and that's so stressful. Like, barely any information, enough information to make us intrigued. We look at the bottom, we scroll all the way to the bottom. The address of the company is in Seattle. So we're like, let's go meet this person.
Yeah.
Let's go walk up to the store. This was Joe saying, let's go to the store and see if it's a real store or like a real business.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. That's definitely just a location that this business chose. Let's email. Let's see if, they'll meet in person. Something. We email. They are a real person, but they already at this point scheduled us to go to Africa.
Oh, all right.
They were just so quick with it. And we're like, okay, this is a little sketchy. So that's why we were really pushing for an in-person meeting. Fast forward, I did get coffee with the owner of the company.
Oh, no way.
In Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah, she lives in Seattle. The address, I was correct, was just a random P.O. box. It wasn't a real place. But yeah, she was the coolest person ever. We had an hour-long conversation at the Starbucks, and she told me everything. It's a nonprofit. So she was kind of explaining, because I said, the website's really outdated. Like, it didn't really make me want to book this, and hence why I'm here in person with you, validating that this is real. Like, where am I giving my money to? And she's like, yeah, it's because we're a nonprofit, and all the money we get just goes directly back to the animals and the conservation. I'm like, that makes so much sense. yeah, obviously you're not going to spend money on marketing something and like website when that's not your mission. Your mission is still for the animals and for the land, which is even more of a push, and it even more resonated with why I ultimately wanted to go and give back. So a month later, we officially send in the deposit. We just try and make sure, scheduling wise, we ended up changing the dates that she pre-scheduled us in for because we're like, that doesn't really work with us. But so yeah, now we're going. It was so easy. All we had to do was just send in a donation through PayPal.
Oh, wow. All right.
And that was it. And we've just been in communication with, it swapped over from once we booked it from the owner who I met coffee with to then somebody in Africa.
Yeah.
Her like next person. And we've just been in contact with him, sending him all of our flight information, because then they schedule airport pickups to take us to the property.
Wow.
And yeah, so now that's all booked. But now Joe and I have been trying to figure out planes in Africa and like what companies, what time to get there, how early do we go beforehand, because we're going to be staying in Cape Town for 2 nights before it starts, because we have so much, not like so much travel, but we are flying to the UK 2 weeks before we go out to Africa. So we'll have 2 weeks from then, after the first long 10-hour, I think, flight, seeing all of his family, doing, you know, all the hellos and family visits that we can all around the UK, going to Wales, which I'm really excited, new country unlocked. And then I want to say it's another like 10 plus hours from London to Cape Town. So then we have 2 nights of like recovery before we then start this month long.
Yeah.
So that's us also like knowing ourselves, to know that we'll need that time to recover before.
Yeah, and any type of culture shock you can kind of, because that would be my biggest thing, is like Africa is such a different country compared to any of the places that we've been to when it comes to culture, development, and like language and stuff like that. So how did you, when you were planning everything, how was it as easy as just using the internet, or was it, you know, more phone call based or travel agent based? Like, did you need to go through third parties and stuff like that, or were, just because development wise you were saying like, you know, they're not spending money on marketing, there's more important things in that country than, you know, its image online, or even having a presence online. And so it just like, you know, it's been so easy for us to book everything in these other places, but I'm intrigued about, like, you know, you were mentioning figuring out flights. Like, I'm assuming they don't have like United there and stuff like that. Like, tell us more about that, the details.
Yeah, so for finding the right company to go with, that was more phone call based and meetings and a lot of Google searching. But then, because once we're there on the property, everything's taken care of. The only bit that we really had to take care of was getting to the airport to then get picked up from the company.
Oh, okay.
And then now the afterwards is the part, that 5th week that we have. We just left it up in the air. We weren't sure if we were going to go to another country. We were planning on looking at the cheapest flights out of South Africa and just going to another country. But then we discovered what's called the garden route. And it's this really popular road trip on the south coast of South Africa that's overlooking water and a bunch of different locations. And we even found a vegan yoga retreat.
What? A retreat?
Yeah. So we go into that for 2 days. Just a 2-day quick like reset. So it's been a little bit of both. I will say, when it comes to hotels, Joe is a huge fan of booking.com.
Oh.
And he is one of the people I was thinking of when I said sign up for a loyalty program and you'll get paid back, because through his booking.com and all of the other countries and trips that we've planned, when we've booked through them, he's gotten higher ranks. And now we get a free airport pickup dropped off at the hotel because he's a part of their loyalty program. So we've booked our hotels through booking.com. I was even looking into using my travel credit card that I have to book some things. They have a really, really nice website and UX design, but it was a bit more expensive and it just didn't really make too much sense for those extra points. It didn't seem like it balanced out, so I didn't end up working through my credit card.
Yeah.
But I'm still paying with the credit card, so I still get points, which is a big hack. If you know you travel, get a travel credit card.
Oh, for sure. Just for the foreign transaction fees in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And for the safety, you should never be using a debit card while you're traveling. If someone hacks your account, that's like straight to your money. I'd rather have someone hack a credit card where it's not directly connected to my money and it's not as big of a deal versus losing everything because you get hacked.
Yeah. So that's honestly pretty much everything I have to say on those points that you asked about in particular.
Okay.
I will say, though, actually, another thing that Joe and I discovered is because Joe and I are long distance right now, we're not physically together planning all of these things. So when we're searching things, it just defaults set to one person, one way flights. But then after realizing and comparing prices, at least that's what I was searching, was one person, one way. Joe was looking at 2 people, round trip. So much cheaper.
Yeah.
To book in groups.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating how much cheaper it is.
I think it's almost
because in certain situations.
Criminal.
Yeah.
Because we're all about like solo traveling. And it is actually more expensive when you don't buy in groups or in bulk.
Yeah.
And that's not fair because
So
being single is not a crime. Being single shouldn't cost you more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should cost you less.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Anywho. Yeah, I'm feeling that, like, even though I'm in a relationship, I'm still feeling that pain because going out to London, we're flying separately. We're not meeting up. I have a flight out of San Francisco. He has a flight out of Vancouver. So for that part of the trip both ways, it had to be more expensive when it didn't need to be. Whatever.
I want to ask about post booking everything in Africa. How are you planning like leading up to there? Like, is there any preparations that you need to make now? Just because you're going to, medicine and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I still have on my to-do list. Leading up to this trip, there's a few vaccines and like shots I want to get just to be safe. I already know that mosquitoes love me and I get bit by bugs. So I will be getting that malaria shot without a doubt. I'm not trying to risk anything like that, even though I'm in safe parts. Like, the company then sent us a pre-flight checklist, and that's one of the things. It's like, you don't have to get it. It's not required. We're also in a safe zone, but if you want to, for some peace of mind, here are some vaccines you can get. And I'm like, just give it to me. I don't care. Like, I don't want to be sick.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to catch any rabies. That's another one I'll be getting. Like, huh?
Oh my gosh.
But like, I am working with animals directly, so rather be safe than sorry, and that's how I'm planning on that front. I'm also, like I've done for every trip, because every trip has always been quite long, stocking up on all my medicine and my vitamins ahead of time, calling insurance to pre-approve stuff like that, making sure I have enough contacts, because at the moment I don't, which actually is something I need to do.
Well, it's almost interesting how you have to like plan after, like pre-plan to plan type situation. Only because you need to give yourself enough time in between like vaccines and recovery, because sometimes when you get a vaccine you kind of get sick with it. And then like booking doctor's appointments can take time. So like there's a lot of like thinking ahead. And I mean, I guess in film, I learned this lesson pretty hard. The more that you plan ahead of time, the easier it is when you get there. And I think that like that is just so important when it comes to planning anything. And it could be pretty like a lot of people be like, oh yeah, no duh. But as someone who has learned the hard way many times, I have now learned that like taking the work, although it's annoying, and pre-planning everything makes when you get there so much easier, because you have all the answers to the questions that you might have, and you also have it, like you said, so easy to find. Like you don't need to fumble through everything if it's just in one document or one spreadsheet. And it kind of sucks. The fun part, at least I feel like you and me can agree on, decorating makes planning fun. Making it look cute is almost more fun, and I enjoy that process.
Yeah, which one thing I will say is my first time going to Australia, I didn't have a sheets, which is what I'm using now, like numbers, spreadsheet to book everything and like have everything written out. I used a Canva presentation. When we were planning Bali, you and I used a Google Doc. And then I remember thinking my brain cannot process this information. So then I remember taking your information into a presentation.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a visual person.
And you made it look really pretty.
Yeah. So I do, that's a great point. I love making things look pretty like that.
Yeah, it's important. So then it's fun to look at too. But for now, brief overview. My points were stay organized. Prep work in the beginning makes peace of mind worth it when you're there. Manage your expectations. Know who you are. If you're traveling with a friend, make sure you know who they are too, so that you guys are on the same page. So I guess those are, my planning points is, and then also like going through a third party can be really helpful. You can gain rewards, like you said, and being organized wise. A lot of these third party programs have like an itinerary for you so that you have your own travel agent boyfriend. Because not all of us are lucky like you, Anna. But also it could be more expensive. So if you're trying to budget, booking directly will be cheaper.
Yeah. My points are pretty similar to yours. Some overlap. Like the research aspect of it, you can use those third-party websites, which I actually often find myself doing. I look through them, but then I don't even try to book through them. I'll make my own, because there's so many things out there that I do like to mix and match. And there's not one platform for everything. Everything has something different prices, different dates. We've also noticed, Joe and I'll mention this, that VPNs are a lifesaver. If you put your VPN in the country that you're going to and planning for months in advance, it's going to be cheaper than if you're in a different country. I never even
thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's another hack.
VPN, that's so smart. Oh,
total hack. Because they're obviously going to upcharge for tourists. Or also, if Joe and I at the same time are searching for the same thing, they're going to see that this is a popular thing for people to search. So they're going to up the prices. So only having one person actually do that Google Flight search or Booking.com search could save you money.
You're beating the algorithm. You're tricking the algorithm. That is so smart.
Yeah. So
we need a VPN to sponsor us.
Ooh, that's a great one. That's a great one to manifest for season 3, for sure. But other than that, I think along the ends of researching and planning is to have a one-stop shop for all of your information after you've booked it, even before you've booked it, because I've created spreadsheets of to-do lists, or I'll know my rough itinerary, but I'll leave stuff blank and be like, need to figure this out, need to plan this out. Like I'll go day by day, time by time. So I see, there's a missing blank here. We didn't book a hotel for that night. We need to do that. So get into using spreadsheets or Canva presentations.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm like a Google Doc person and you're a spreadsheet person.
It's a new thing. Joe's been getting into data analytics, so he's got me into spreadsheets. And with all my jobs, I've made a lot of spreadsheets lately, which is really weird.
So, very grown of you.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I guess that's it for the episode.
Yeah. This is
easy.
We had an interesting start.
Like
I don't want to think about what happened at the beginning and all the mishaps we had.
No, I feel like it was the trauma of like my planning fail that got to me. Or it's just the episode 1 curse.
Yeah. Or just the GWIA curse.
Who knows?
There's just always something.
The GWIA curse.
There's always something.
Oh my god.
But
no, and there was an issue with my SD card earlier. Didn't even talk about that. And now my camera's at 1 battery, despite it being full charge when I charged it overnight. Now it's at 1 bar. GWIA curse is strong.
Going crazy.
The audio fail. Let's not forget about that. Both of us forgetting to hit record. I was trying to record on my computer just in case my camera doesn't work, and every time I hit record on photo booth, it doesn't record.
Love.
And my other camera's broken right now from the first time we tried shooting. I mean, it can't catch a break.
Though? The only way to go from here is up.
Exactly. And this isn't rock bottom. You know, we're still recording. It's just tech being annoying.
It's people trying to take us down. Yeah. And this is our resilience.
They're trying to diffuse our light.
Well,
it's all right.
Season 3, which is crazy to say.
This is just honestly prep work for season 3. Like, this episode's good. It's very important. Planning's so important.
Just a little dabble.
But also there's so many big and exciting ideas we have for season 3 that we need to like do the prep work so that when we get there, we're all ready to go.
Exactly.
Plan everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right. Anna, please shut me
out of your misery.
Conclude the episode.
Thank you, guys.
Please. This episode's a curse.
Thank you so much for listening. I can't believe we're on season 3. This is so fun to say. It's actually wild that like the idea that I had and that we created on the flight back from my first trip from Australia. I remember texting you, it not going through because I was literally in the sky, has turned into this. And it's been so fun. So thank you guys so much for listening and sticking with us to season 3. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook. I think that's all the places we're on. We're everywhere. And then wherever you listen to your podcasts, we're also there. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars, leave a little comment or whatnot. Come chat to us and let us know if you have any questions. We're also, we can be your travel itinerary girlfriends if you want us to be.
Yeah, exactly. So, we totally could. Follow us and then you can comment right now like we knew you before you were famous.
That. OG fans. Claim your spot right now.
We're at the place where you can talk to
exactly.
us. We're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We will see you real soon.
Let us be your girlfriend. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god.